Nightmares? Horrors beyond my human comprehension? A dystopian future with no hope for a better one? That's right, it's Pax Britannica. We will go back to the good old shattered continent and play as the United Kingdom of Germany. As Germany over here, we are squeezed between a very angry butthurt France and a pretty dangerous Russia. After we were defeated by the French in the First Franco-German War, it seemed like the Holy Roman Empire was bound to be destroyed by the liberal revolutions following the French Reformation. But Emperor Francis II saw this as an opportunity. This began the period known as the Wars of Consolidation, where either through diplomacy or arms, the empire was being slowly centralized by Austria. This came to a pitch with the Austro-Prussian War, and by offering territorial concessions to Poland and Russia in exchange for their assistance, Austria invaded and destroyed the nascent Prussian superpower. And with the Hohenzollern's pushed out of Germany, Austria turned its eyes to the west and took Alsace-Lorraine from the French, defeating them in the Second Franco-German War. And of course, just like all German celebrations, we celebrated our victory in the Palace of Mirrors in Versailles. I don't know why, but it's always Versailles that we go to, just to really rub it into the French eyes just how much they suck. This was too much for our Hungarian and Illyrian friends to the south. In 1870, they gained independence in all but name. And in 1905, with the outbreak of the Great War, we fought brutal trench warfare in Flanders and Wollonia. And even though we won, it caused a long-ass depression that has been lasting for the last 20 years. And you know, Germany has been defunct since the fall of SUP. That is a reference only a few very cool gamers will understand. And now Germany must carve itself a future through blood and steel. First, our Volksstaads are pretty angry. Second problem, our military is way outdated. It is such a sad state of affairs that the damn Russians have a more advanced army than us. We have a Great War era military one, and guess what? They have a semi-modern military one. Nobody has a modern military yet. The fact that the Russians have a semi-modern military better than me as Germany, it just angers me to such a degree. You don't understand. Bitterness of the Great War? Go screw yourself, friends. But first, just like 𝙀𝙧𝙧𝙢𝙀, we're gonna have to wait until we are able to do quite literally anything whatsoever. And we will create a Germany in which every man will be free to think, to act for himself. Oh my god. I love that scene. I'm not gonna give you a hint to what it is, but I'm sure there'll be a couple of commenters who know what I'm referencing. First, we're gonna build some infrastructure in these two states, and if you really want to be min-max in this game, you can press this button for infrastructure investments for another 10% construction speed. You know what, things have been going pretty bad so far, but perhaps 1933 will be our year, you know? Oh, when the French once again come to Lorraine. France, when will you learn the lesson to just stop? He said that the Kaiser was open, that the stress of rule and his advancing age had begun to severely affect his health. Kaiser Rudolf abdicates. Oh god, and now 𝙀𝙀𝙧𝙀𝙀 is in charge. And we get, of course, the abdication crisis, and things are just going to hell. There's been a marriage between Prince Edward to Helen von Hohenzollern. Yes, I actually know how to pronounce that name. And now the royal family is even more German. One thing that I noticed was interesting is that pretty much all royalty of Europe before World War I, and hell, even after World War I, was so German. Like, for whatever reason, in terms of monarchic families, the German one just seemed to spread across Europe. They were almost going to also get Spain, and the government fell. As if things weren't bad already, please. Alright, and elections are scheduled. Let's see how they go. And the reactionaries begin to march once again, and the liberals begin their campaign with the idea of promoting freedom or whatever. Cring. Oh, and look at that, we have the National Revolutionary Alliance. For some reason I thought this would be the Heavenly Kingdom just from the color. A bit too much Victoria too, I guess. And the Nationalists win. And now a new chapter shall begin for Germany. And we will just get rid of Elizabeth, since her short reign has already been pretty damn incompetent. Like, get the hell out of here, woman. The first actions of our government will be to focus on solving the depression, remilitarizing our country, and rewarding our loyal supporters. After that, we will begin cracking down on the communists, recognizing modernism for the degenerate refinery cities and going back to our Germanic war roots. And after that we'll pursue centralizing this damned nation whether they like it or not. And there you go, get the hell away. And Ferdinand II is now in charge. And we will switch to industrial investments over here to start building some civilian factories. First we have the Commonwealth of Carnegia, which is the white oasis of the Sahara, which is the direct result of the Green Sahara project, which aims on bringing new seas to the Sahara to, well, you know, make it green like it was like a few thousand years ago. Now ignore the fact that there is segregation over here, just don't look at that, okay? We will also begin training our navy to get some of this sweet naval experience. Now we will also begin research into weapons of mass gaming. Oh, and the liberals won in Britain. Oh, boo-hoo. And now we also have to deal with paramilitary armies and with recovering our economy, and now we also have augmentations that we can research. And I think it would be in order to research some hard suits. We'll also begin building some of these aircraft carriers. These aircraft carriers are gonna be out in 1935. I'm just gonna put some basic armor, and this will be our heavy cruiser design. We're starting to get things under control in Germany, and if we go to the Pacific, we can see that Karl Dönitz has his personal colony that, and it seems like he's actually going to manage to kick out these Filipino insurrectionists. Oh, and it seems like there is a special movie called The King in Yellow in Bohemia. The only thing it's showing is a symbol resembling a spiral. We should probably investigate what it's about. The paper resembled an odd textured sort of paper that no one could quite describe the feeling of, and one of the writers claimed that she felt it breathe in her hand while looking it over late in the night. And the lead writer of the Frankfurt Globe was found dead in his apartment from an apparent suicide. Police found the writer in too many pieces, with incoherent rantings written in fresh blood across the walls in the apartment. Most prominently, the skin of his face was found nailed to the bathroom wall alongside the phrase take off your mask. What could not be explained was where the flesh blood came from, or how exactly the writer could have killed himself in such a bizarre manner. More flyers appeared that afternoon, including one mailed the Frankfurt Globe stating that the play had to be relocated. The chains remained taut. What the hell is this about? Just some medicine, nothing weird here. The Great Balkan War, what the hell? Okay, so the Hungarians are at war with the Yugoslavs and Romania. Come on, Romania, make me proud. Let's try getting some basic toxic chemical weapons. That is a sentence you can only say in Hoi without getting court-martialed and executed. Let's try assessing the status of our stagnating and shambling economy. Let's reform the Reichsarmy. Alright, let's get some respiratory irritants. Actually no, I'm gonna get some pulmonary agents. Sounds more painful. Let's support the Reform Gruppe. And Reinhard Heydrich is the one that wants to modernize our navy and get us some aircraft carriers. We have Göring with his gas and Rommel with his tanks. We will no longer accept losing hundreds of thousands of our soldiers in gruesome and attritioning trench warfare. No, sir, no. We will give General Erwin Rommel control over our future war doctrine. The damn French are expulsing their German populations forcefully. We're gonna destroy them. We must make sure we are standing together against any upcoming enemies. I like this. You have the London sprawl over here, La Ressuscité, the New Paris, and Germania. Let's also get some victory tonic. That's right, before you die, just take a swig of this and you will not feel anything probably. And now Germany will forge a new destiny for itself. Long enough the German people have been oppressed, violated and attacked. There must come a time where the European continent will be dominated by Germany and Germany alone. Everything shall revolve around us and no one should be able to challenge us, defeat us or question us. Let's also start improving our economy. Minimum Employment Act, which improves our poverty rate. Sure, we'll compensate the Alsace French. Yeah, let's get Rommel in charge. And Hermann von Göring. Wow, he looks really good in this picture. Let's foster the second rural boom and switch into military investments now. And let's finally begin the first stage of recovering our economy. For the first time in history, we can say that the German people are truly united. Germany was not united with the pen and olive branch, but with the sword. It was the Austrians that united this great nation. The capital shall be moved back to Vienna, the imperial government back home with her Catholic people and her beloved Kaiser Franz. The German people are eager and ready for whatever the world has to throw at us. And now we will move to limited conscription. Let's finally focus on some long-term investments. Now that we can decide what to do with our economy, it is important we choose a new direction to start. The plan is to improve the lives of ordinary citizens, make high-quality jobs that will hopefully make the economy healthier in the long run. Europe shall tremble, knowing that the German century is arriving, and there will be no one to stop us. And we will reopen the Vienna Stock Exchange and buy unsold crops to help our dear farmers. This division is so ridiculous. I'm gonna do it. It's great. Now we can see that our economy is starting to finally and truly recover. We have zero consumer goods, what the hell? One thing that sucks is that Italy is also in this faction with the French, so we will need to put some troops there to stop them. Let's also get another research slot. Now we can finally start dealing with these paramilitary organizations. Let's go first after the Rhineland Jacobins. Screw them. Oh, so because I decided to bomb them to hell, I destroyed some infrastructure in the East Rhineland. Whatever. Our long-term investment plan involves to attract capital investors into our economy. Let's go after the Alsace nationals because they're annoying as hell, honestly. They just keep destroying their own civilian factories like you're hurting yourself. What the hell are you doing? There you go. Bye. Stop causing me so many problems. We are the central pillars of Europe. Finally, we have achieved something that previous governments have failed to do, a full economic recovery. We have come out of this depression stronger than ever, and we will be able to take out any foe that stands in front of us. Wallonia is not doing too well, they've been attacked by the French. We can get 4 of these elite hardsuit divisions. Oh, now I can put 3 of these investments in 3 different states, in 3 different what is happening? Now I can put 3 of these military investments in 3 different states. That was what I intended on saying, and then for some reason I just died. I don't know why. The concept of Europe shall not be interrupted. You can go to hell, friends. We'll accept the Dutch call to arms. Give us military access, there you go. Let's go. We need to mobilize more troops, quickly. Yes, call everyone, the British, everyone into the war. We have 32 more divisions deployed. Static warfare, let's go. Infantry expert, we need to mobilize the population and go for a war economy. The Russians are absolutely insane, they just keep charging my lines. Just stop. You lost 800,000 troops. I lost like 40,000 infantry equipment. They lost 150,000. How much do you have? How much do you have at this point available? I forgot. Let's deploy chemical weapons and live wire to slow the Russian troops down. Oh my god, the Russians are insane. They just won't stop attacking. How the hell am I supposed... The Russians just won't stop attacking. Tag Rus. Poland, 28 divisions, 26. Russia, 72 army stockpile. So they are losing guns. They are, I imagine, to grind down their army. So they will probably be forced to stop at some point. So, alright, let me see. What are you doing? He's not even on aggressive. He's on balanced? Oh my god, they're bombing me to hell. How many soldiers do you have deployed, Russia? 1.4 million right now because you lost so many. You have less than me. You have less than me deployed. Where is it? Infantry rations, they're lacking those. Infantry equipment, they don't really have enough of that. Oh my god, they just keep attacking me. Like, stop already. Good news, the line seems to be slowly but surely stabilizing. Currently, we have suffered 224,000 casualties, which is much better than what it was before, and the Russians have suffered in the span of about 3 or 4 months 865,000 casualties, and they have lost 164,000 infantry equipment, 80,000 rations, and 6,000 artillery. That is insane beyond belief. And they lost 8,000 automats? Oh my god. Look at their division. I looked. It's not even that the Russians don't have the equipment for their divisions. They are on a deficit. But the reason why they don't have strength in their division is because these divisions literally don't have time to take manpower from their manpower. Like, they don't have time for that. That is how bad it is. Another good news is that we can begin to work towards a semi-modernized military. Oh my god, we're starting to lose our fourth line. This ain't good at all. This is literally slow attritional warfare. This is ridiculous. I still have plenty of equipment, like more than enough. It's been 5 months and the Russians have suffered 1 million casualties. Russia, stop it already, please. 1.17 million. Those strength bars are not looking too good, are they, eh? Huh? Not looking too good, I see. Average strength 70%. Just throw more bodies into the meat grinder. This is one of the most difficult Hoi4 experience I've ever seen. I have never ever seen the AI be so ridiculously offensive oriented. Like, the Russians and the Italians have been typical, you know, they've been pretty stable. The Russians just keep throwing themselves at in my lines constantly. We have finally truly stabilized the line. There are no more red bubbles and it seems like we are pretty much able to just hold the Russians back. And the Russian army is pretty much spent for the next few months probably. I know it is cheesy to use last stands and force attacks, but if I didn't, I guarantee you 100% I would be dead right now. I would be dead. And now we have micro nuke launchers. Now let's get our god tier divisions to the eastern front. Yes, 30 convoys is exactly what I need, thank you. In the span of like 6 months, they suffered 2 million casualties. The Russians, nah, they something else. Alright, let's see how these troops could do on the offensive. They just used all of their strength to punch me and now they're just stuck. This was like genuinely, I was not ever expecting this. I thought I would just be able to just put some divisions and just hold the front line, but god, the Russians just kept throwing themselves. In some certain places, like here, we can push the Russians back successfully. Right, we can push the Russians back over here. Come on, let's make an encirclement, baby, don't stop me. There you go, that's our first offensive encirclement against the Russians. You can go suck it, Russia. 3 million casualties for the Russians, god, I have been massacring them. And this war hasn't even been going on for that long. I can get 7 more of these elite divisions. Look at how powerful they are. 461 soft attack, 260 hard attack. Let's test them out. The front line right now is an absolute mess. God, the eastern front is just real life, it's so bloody. We have just launched a massive offensive. Oh, if we can capture this supply hub, that will give us a lot of supply that we need. Let's break across the river, baby. Through Stettin and up. We captured Poznan. If we can get this final province over here, that's going to encircle the entire central front. Oh Jesus, the Russians stand currently at 3.8 million casualties, the French at 1.24 million. We are regaining the initiative on the eastern front. Through the western front, we're going to the east. And we are getting even better airplanes, and slowly but surely we are gaining aerial superiority. We will launch a massive offensive towards Danzig and break through their weak front lines. And we will launch supporting offensives to pin their armies in place. Screw it, we're going to Warsaw. And we're gonna take Königsberg to destroy the pretenders in Prussia. Russian Empire, 4 million. They don't have an army. Oh my god, I just realized that they literally don't have an army. We're just breaking through. There's no troops to stop us. They just cannot. This is the southern army encircled. Oh, the Russians are dead. The German Reich has capitulated. The Polish puppets, whatever they're called, I don't care. More encirclements, come on. It's just encirclement after encirclement. They just cannot stop us. They cannot stop us. These boys don't know what we are made of. I was planning on making Max. Screw it, I don't care about that anymore. Let's just make a quick breakthrough. Oh Russia, you made a big ass mistake by messing with the German nation. Come on, let's get Riga. Who can get to Riga first? Yep, there you go. The Russians are at 4.2 million casualties. France 1.3. Oh my god, these casualties are so juicy. Let's just break through some more. I like, seriously, why not? They just cannot stop me at this point. After I pushed them out of Poland, they just lost everything they had. They have nothing left, the Russians. This is one of the most fun games of Hoi4 that I've ever had in my life. And I just noticed right now that the British have managed to naval invade into France. We'll send some caustic inhalants into Moscow. This should kill a lot of the factories there. Now let's start working on a few more encirclements. Now we will go on the offensive, boys. Let's overrun the Baltics. Let's try going for these last divisions that remain, that Russia has. Right, and that is even more encircled. They literally don't have anything left. Let's also drop some chemical weapons on Tsaritsyn. St. Petersburg? We'll drop some live wire, sure, why not? Oh my god, the Russians, they have between 9 and 21 divisions. They are at 5.3 million casualties. Oh my god, the French are quite literally capitulated already. Go on the offensive. It will be hard, but they will manage to push. Ooh, I'm crushing the French. There's quite literally nothing. The only reason why I'm not going quicker is because I don't have enough divisions to fill the front line. Orbital? Less supply consumption? Yes, please. Right, let's see if we can just make a quick kind of encirclement here, a dirty one. Now let's finally get some of our doctrines over here. Shock and awe, baby, let's go. That was literally almost all of my doctrine. Why didn't I do that sooner? Wow, now these divisions have 651 attack. Peace conference is over. So now the British have a mandate in Moscow and one in Tsaritsyn and also one in St. Petersburg. Polish Transitional Authority. These names are really pompous, I might add. Ukrainian Interim National Unity Government. No, just no, don't name me that. Trans-Caucasian Provisional Mandate. Screw you, honestly. And I'm just going to get these 11 God tier divisions with 600 soft tech and quickly advance down into Sicily. Once again, my computer sounds like it's about to go into space. Oh yep, and Russia is in flames. The situation in Russia has completely degenerated. The nation has exploded into total war as decades of civil discontent threaten to burn what remains of Russia to cinders. Russia defeated at last by itself. And we get the Russian Civil War, baby. Okay, so these are the neo-imperialist guys that want to attack us. Britain, just call me to war against these guys, please. Alright, so we have Uralic Confederacy, Trans-Aral Railway, Revolutionary Federation of Yakutia. Oh, they joined the Japanese Communist faction. United States of the Far East and Green Ukraine. Wait, was that Bukharin? Was that Nikolai Bukharin? He escaped to the east, damn it. The mad lad escaped. Okay, our mandates are breaking down. Republic of Ukraine, Nestor Ivanovich Makhno. My mad lad escaped. Anarchism, baby, till the end. Oh, the Ukrainian crisis, come on. Everything is breaking down. I think I'm gonna need to conquer Russia a second time at this rate. We have defeated the national state of France and their allies as the Second Great War comes to a close. Damn straight. And Ukraine is in flames. Due to the famines in Eastern Europe, the Ukrainian interim unity government faces catastrophe. League forces in the Ukraine have condemned both sides and begun efforts to establish a new unity government to impose order. Right, let's just crush these forces in northern Italy and just deal with the rest. Conference in Europe, the main course. The Hetlo Palace proposed to be the site of this historical conference by the Dutch crown. The major players have started the conference with its main course, France. The undoubted aggressor of this war, France acts like a mirror for many other diplomats in the room, reflecting upon the hasty decisions made in the aftermath of the First Great War that allowed for such a monster like Doria to firmly grasp the will of the failed republic. The old treaty is the perfect example of how not to go forward. Germany, on the other hand, has been the nation that suffered the most from the French invasion, with their border regions destroyed and their economy turning on its head after such an expensive war. In their eyes, the solution to the French is clear: dismantlement. Degrees vary, but most German diplomats are keen on the idea of breaking the French spirit completely. Hopefully this will go better. Now let's see what we have to deal with. Current topic: France. This does really feel like I am the League of Nations. Let's finally get down and deal with what remains of Italy. Oh my god, and the east is a total mess. People's State of Buryatia. All I have to say is that Nikolai Bukharin looks hella good with that hat on his head. German Reich. Finally peace. Provisional Spanish Kingdom under Francisco Franco. We have a Europe to save. Germany and Europe. Help rebuilding the Polish military, rebuild Polish industry, and solidify Polish-German alliance. The anti-treaty insurrection spurred Russian General Alexander Kolchak, along several other leaders, to seize control of the Siberian provinces, declaring the Siberian emergency government. International observers see Kolchak's move as little more than that of a power grab. Russian National Reclamation Committee. Okay, I think I see where this is going. Oh my god, Psemoko Kotsev has an amazing mustache. Now we have achieved victory in Europe, and despite our precarious situation between Russia and France, we have achieved what seemed to be impossible. The German flag now flies high over Paris and Moscow, bright beacons of hope and liberty in a sea of darkness. We have to decide what to do with Europe after this war. Nothing in Europe will ever be the same, but this asks the question, what even is Europe? Has this continent not been the place of the world where there is never peace, where bloodshed is common, where we ignore our faults and blame others? Maybe that part of who we are. Or should we try to change things so this will never happen again? That is a question we must answer. I just dropped a save. Let's try conservatives. War reparations, the Kingdom of France, yeah. I'll just quickly reload this other save and let's see how the liberals are. Pierre-Hélène Flandin. Nah, screw it. Germany will make it stand. We'll put a goddamn foreign Germanic monarch in charge. Screw it. There you go, Franz the First. He is definitely German, I prefer this. Germany has to be the ruling hegemon over all of mainland Europe. While our nation may lay in ruin, nothing can destroy the German spirit. Already many have taken part in laying the first foundation for future generations. These bricks will be what the next great monument of the German nation will build upon, and we shall take pride in this very fact. And we shall make sure that the German century truly comes to be. The Lyon Trials, as in the Nuremberg Trials, these are for the French and Russian war criminals of the Second Great War, simply known as the Lyon Trials, were held at 10 p.m. within the French city of Lyon. The first matter of the Lyon Trials was the topic of the SP and their role in the war. Many disturbing atrocities, especially towards Jews, because these guys weren't only ultra-nationalists, they were also anti-Semitists, like literally, had taken place under SP leadership, and whilst the investigation into some of the worst of these atrocities are still ongoing, the verdict had been made clear by the court: death by hanging for those responsible for crimes against humanity. Next was the French and Russian military. Numerous violations of the rules of war were broken on many occasions by important individuals originating from the armed forces of these nations, and can be argued that such individuals were responsible for France's warmongering attitude. The court decided on a case-by-case basis, and many high-ranking military officials had either received the death penalty or life imprisonment. The final point of discussion were the country leaders themselves. Both economists under the French and Russian government utilized slavery in different forms. The French literally had a spirit called slave labor or labor camps or something. They were also complacent in the mistreatment of prisoners of war as well as occupied populations, and arguably encouraged it. Those government officials mostly got away from having the death penalty, besides some extreme cases. Finally was the topic of the leaders of France and Russia. This was the most long and drawn out area of the Lyon Trials, and lawyers on either side passionately argued that both parties were responsible for the environment that led these nations the path of war. They also point out the hypocrisy of the British and German empires, who had achieved their world status by conquering other nations much the same vein as the French and Russian governments. However, the court did not budge and came to the conclusion that both leaders were to be hanged and their bodies cremated in undisclosed locations. By the end of the week, the trials had concluded, and most of the individuals responsible for the horrors of the Second Great War were either dead or locked up indefinitely. Now we can start building ourselves some civilian factories. War comes at a cost of men, money, resources, and much more. The question is now whether we want to forgive the French people for all they have caused. We believe we should not forgive them. They caused the war, they killed our heroic soldiers, they should pay by being isolated, in ruins and occupied forever. We can never again let any Frenchman do that to our great nation ever again. We shall never ever forgive them. Removes two civilian factories from France and moves them to Austria. I like that. Even though we may not like it, we have to bury our animosity with the Prussians and once again accept them as an accepted culture of ours. With the collapse of the Russian realm in the East, one of our final and greatest ideals for the Germanic people will finally become reality. Now, the jobless will find opportunities in the East, and the veterans will gain their deserved lands. The people will have their freedom, except if they're Russian, then they can go screw themselves. With the end of the Great War, we're going to issue an ultimatum to Danubia. Cause instability in Schleswig-Holstein, support them, get a treaty with Romania, and send an ultimatum to what remains of Yugoslavia over here. We are going to unite all of the economies of Europe behind ours and get the pan-German development plan in action. Volga Germans. Oh, this actually gives me history about it. The Volga Germans are descendants of German settlers who made their home along the Volga River since some 1500 miles from Germany. They came here in 1762. Really? They've been here for a long ass while actually. Interesting. All I'm saying is that the League of Nations looks pretty good. Alright, so they rejected our demands. And because they refused our demands to submit, we now have to attack them. We are just obliged to do this. And this is the case as well for Schleswig-Holstein. And thus for Denmark. Budapest is ours. There you go. Now they are a conservative monarch. Yeah, and Transylvania, what the hell is that name is proclaimed? Right, let's move our forces back now. Today is the Reich's greatest hour. We shan't return our backs to the world no more. We shall be open and put our nose everywhere, whether on the continent or beyond those, no matter. Our vast empire here and on the seven seas shall determine the fate of the people. We won't shy away from reform, radicalization and intervention, and we have annexed Denmark and Kiel, totally by legitimate and legal means. Now we shall focus on our nation after the war has concluded. We will focus on rebuilding Germany. Now we will pursue demilitarization. With the war now over, the Reichstag sees no reason for the German nation to be a large military force exceeding its already tight budget. Civilian economy, come on man, the Somme nation. We will remove any course that the French may have had in the lowlands or the Rhineland. The German government announced the arduous task of relocating the French diaspora primarily away from the lowlands and Rhineland back into France proper. Oh, we are poorly handling the situation with accounts of extreme starvation and dehydration are becoming too numerous to ignore. Neither the German nor British governments are too fond of treating essentially colonizers with any respect or consideration, especially Germany, who bore brunt of French brutality during the Second Great War. Yeah, you know, history is indeed written by the victors. Just how the first German Empire in World War I in our timeline was demonized, even though it actually really didn't deserve it. But now we will just hunt down those traitors who dared try allying themselves with the French and Russians, when the first great offensives in the east were being launched by the Russians. Like, those offensives were so fucking brutal, like, God. We will reaffirm our ties with the British and go and help our colonies in Africa and Asia. Now we can finally assist them, and it seems like the Greater Dixie Republic is attacking the natives over here, and the Republic of Libertalia. That is an awesome name, honestly. The French Foreign Legion is a famous force not to be reckoned with, but we do not wish to disband it, merely to add to it by creating the French-German Legion. Its purpose will be the same as the French one, but will also consider German interests, and will have a German commander from time to time. And as there is now peace in Europe, we have decided to rebrand it as an interventionist force for colonial wars, rather than a real legion for real war. And now we can look forward to our future. Now that all nations have started to rebuild and make use of the new free trade agreement, we believe it is finally time to say we are looking forward to a bright future. A future in which our children won't have to endure war, depression, ruins and all other horrors that come with fighting in a global combat. A future in which technology, science and culture will flourish and where people can express their freedoms and thought. A lasting peace shall bring us greatness. Oh no, game, it's not over yet, we still have a bit more to do. There you go, we created the Kingdom of Greater Serbia and Bosnia over here. Oh, and look at that German economic treaty. Minus 15% consumer goods, I consider that to be pretty worth it. Also Romania has it. The United Commonwealth of America formed the coalition of wait, what the hell? Are you serious? Imperial Civil War. Imperial Civil War, are you serious? America, you want to break away now? At this moment? Nah, Britain, deal with that, you're on your own, I don't give a fuck. You can go screw yourself, I don't care. There you go, for some reason I was at war with Norway, so I'm just going to quickly deal with that problem. Right, and Africa has collapsed. Definitely not because of me. Now we will begin converting these Bohemians to unaccepted cultures. There you go, we are just peacefully changing it to our culture, you know? And we'll do the same with the Danish. There you go. We are just making sure that, you know, they accept us for who we are, while we don't accept them for what they are. This process of converting them is gonna take quite a long while. Can't we just, you know, move them to another place and put our own people in there? That's an option, you know. Right, let's send our volunteers to Russia. 200 planes and 300 casks. Our forces have arrived. We will finally help them to deal with the nationalist scum here in northern Russia. Let's take Arkhangelsk. There you go, and our Russia has won now. Oh, and they absorbed these Jacobins of here. Now, the German Reich stands truly superior, having converted or brought together all the Germanic people into one great nation and opened Europe's markets to Germany's industry. And now the German people can rest easy, knowing that the French and the Russians can never hope to threaten the German nation like they did before. And now to victory, my friends. I will see you next time, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye. Hi there, if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also check out this other video where, as the certain mustache man, I restored the Danube Federation. I put a lot of work into these videos and I hope you enjoyed it. See you.